Welcome to the Soulful Insights podcast. In today's episode, we are going to dive deep into one of life's most profound quests, finding your soul purpose. This journey to uncovering what sets your heart ablaze with passion and purpose is not just about discovering a path. It's about coming home to yourself, to the essence of who you truly are. It is so important to begin this journey by coming to a place where you are curious about yourself. This journey is really about discovery, and it can be a joyful process that brings you into the most beautiful place of honoring and loving yourself in a way that you never thought possible. In a world that often values achievement over authenticity, it can feel easy to get lost, wandering far from the call of your soul. But here, in this sacred place, I invite you to pause, to breathe, and to open your heart to the possibility of a life lived with intention, courage, and deep connection to your true calling and your true self. Finding your soul purpose is akin to embarking on a treasure hunt, where the map lies hidden within the contours of your own heart. It's a journey that requires not just looking outward for signs and markers, but turning inward, listening to the whispers of your soul that guide you towards your true north. The first step on this journey is to cultivate stillness. In the silence, away from the noise of the world and the chatter of your mind, you can hear the voice of your inner self more clearly. It's in these moments of quiet and stillness that your soul's desire begins to surface, like stars emerging in the twilight sky. Practices like meditation, mindful walking in nature, or simply sitting in quiet reflection can open the doorway to this inner sanctuary, inviting clarity and insight. Meditation is the first step in this journey. I've dabbled with meditation for about 20 years, but I never truly unlocked the power and potential that meditation had. It was hard for me to sit quiet in the stillness when one of the parts of my trauma was tormenting intrusive thoughts. I even had to clean my house with the radio blaring as I sang along to keep the painful thoughts at bay. If you are the type of person who needs to always be busy, and you use busyness as a coping mechanism for trauma or difficult emotions, meditation may seem painful or extremely difficult for you. I want to encourage you to not overlook the power of meditation because in the beginning it's hard. If you need help, please reach out to me and ask about my soul harmony coaching, where I walk you through the process of transformation and finding your soul purpose. I teach you a lot of these tools and walk you through the process during our sessions together so that you don't have to try to figure it out on your own. But if you want to begin on your own, you can use guided meditation in the beginning to help you get used to the process. But eventually, you're going to have to allow your higher self to guide your meditation practice, to deepen its efficacy and develop a practice that is unique to you and your needs. When I truly tapped into meditation that was guided by my higher self, that's when absolute magic began to happen. I was innately guided into meditation practices that moved me through past trauma, healing old wounds, disconnecting me from my past, and allowing me to step into the present with love, compassion, and authenticity. Step 2, connecting to your higher self. Connecting to your higher self is a non-negotiable part of this process of self-discovery and finding your soul purpose. Remaining grounded in the physical reality disconnects you from the spirit realm and from the spiritual part of you that knows your purpose, who you truly are, who you were meant to become on this life journey. Connecting to my higher self has been a transformative experience. My higher self guides my meditation and even guides me in my decisions and self-discovery in powerful ways. This deep connection to your higher self is a crucial part of the path to living a joyful, fulfilling life. As you sit in quiet stillness with meditation music that resonates with you, ask your higher self to be present with you, to come forward and connect with the physical part of you. It isn't that your higher self isn't there or has disengaged from you, but far too often we need that mental reminder of this connection. It's your physical self that needs to make this connection. And by saying this out loud, it assists your physical brain in attempting the connection and being open to the communication with your higher self. That is why you ask for the connection with your higher self. Your body is housed within your higher self, within your spiritual body. You are never truly disconnected, but your physical brain can disengage from the spiritual and severely hinder the communication with the higher self. Allow your higher self to guide your thoughts in your meditation. Remain open and curious to whatever messages come through. You can even move into intuitive writing if that resonates with you. As you receive messages from your higher self, you write them down. Intuitive writing is a more advanced technique that I teach my coaching clients, but if you feel prompted to do so, grab a pen and a paper or journal or notebook and write down the messages that you receive. To remain connected with the ability to truly be guided by your higher self, you have to remain open and curious about yourself. Allow thoughts to come in without judgment. It is also crucial to learn how to discern which thoughts are coming from the physical self and which thoughts are coming from your higher self. And this takes time. It just takes time to learn. But as you get used to this connection and as you get used to the thoughts and the discernment between the two, it will become a powerful resource on your path. It will become an amazing resource to discovering your soul purpose and living your life with intention. And next, we move into embracing vulnerability, which is also crucial in this process. In the words of Brené Brown, vulnerability is the birthplace of love, belonging, joy, courage, empathy, and creativity. It's about showing up and being seen, about daring to dream and explore what truly resonates with your soul, even when it feels risky or uncertain. Vulnerability is the key that unlocks the door to discovering and embracing your soul purpose. Being vulnerable is hard. It's hard for a lot of people. Many of us have experienced pain in relationships, betrayal, abuse, or negativity thrown at us by other people that has led us to a fear of being vulnerable, both with ourselves and with others. And I suggest that you start learning to be vulnerable first with yourself. And then you can slowly move into vulnerability in relationships where you feel safe and secure. Being vulnerable with yourself looks like trusting your intuition, trusting the decisions that you make, and ultimately letting go of judgment. The biggest part of vulnerability with yourself is to be open. Observe your thoughts, observe your actions and your decisions. Be curious about your reasons for those thoughts, actions, and decisions. But at the end of the day, you give yourself grace for it all. Be your own biggest cheerleader. Be forgiving of yourself. There is not a single human on this planet that is immune to making mistakes. The greatest gift that you can give yourself is to be forgiving, non-judgmental, full of grace, love, and compassion. When you think you've made a mistake or you've done something wrong, be kind to yourself. Be the uplifting and supportive voice that you need in that moment. Have your own back. I often say to myself, I got you, I got you. When I get nervous or I feel really vulnerable in something that I'm doing, I remind myself, I got you, I got your back. We can do this. And I say those things to myself because guess what? The only person that I have control of is me. I can't control whether anybody else likes what I do. I can't control what they say to me. I can't control what they think about me. But you know what I can do? I can control what I say to myself. and I can control how I feel about myself and what I think about myself. And so instead of looking to outside sources to give me the support and encouragement that I need, I'm going to give it to myself because I can choose to do that. It's an amazing thing when you realize I get to choose whether I'm nice to myself or whether I'm not. And you can't be vulnerable in your relationship with yourself if you aren't nice to yourself, if you aren't kind to yourself. So I want you to start with this. When you're going to do something that's a little outside of your comfort zone, I want you to remind yourself, think in your mind, I got you. I got your back. Do not be the bully in your own head. No one needs a bully living inside their own head. There are enough people in the world that have filled themselves with hate and pain and suffering, and they spew it around on everyone else. There's enough people like that probably in your own life, but you don't need that living in your head. So I call these negative thoughts or this bully in my head as the gremlin. And when those thoughts come up, I tell the gremlin to get lost. And you can think to yourself, gremlin, you are not welcome here, and I am not listening to your crap today. And that's what I say. The minute that those negative thoughts, you did that wrong. Why did you do that? That was stupid. When those thoughts come up, that's not me, that's gremlin. And this is just a technique that I use. There's a lot of techniques to use to help with negative thoughts, and this is just one of the ones that I use. And really, when I am coaching clients, I choose different techniques that resonate with them. So I'm just going to give you one today, and this is the gremlin. So in your mind, you just kick the gremlin out. You tell it, gremlin, I am not listening to your crap today. Gremlin lies. Gremlin is a jerk. Gremlin is a bully. And so I want you to recognize. And the reason that we're giving these thoughts a name is so that you can lump them into something that isn't you and isn't true. So we can just dismiss gremlin with the negative thoughts. And we're going to flip the script and give you grace. And you get to choose to do this. If you feel that you made a poor decision, or maybe the result of a decision was not what you'd hoped for, it didn't turn out the way that you wanted, I want you to choose thoughts that are helpful, not hurtful. So instead of thinking that was stupid, why did I do that? I never make good decisions. Everything always goes wrong. And spinning in that circle of negativity. I want you to look at that for a minute. Those are gremlin thoughts, okay? Was it really stupid? Do you never make good decisions? Are those true? Does everything always go wrong? I know at times we feel like that. I know we feel that. But is it really true? And I'm going to tell you, it's not true. Those things are not true. Okay? You're not stupid. Those things are not true. So I want you to catch the gremlin when it shows up. Because these are the thoughts, these negative thoughts. This is exactly what it is. And I want you to catch yourself. Gremlin showed up. It just helps you catch the thoughts. It's a technique. Okay? And I want you to flip it. And I want you to choose grace and compassion. So instead, maybe I made the best decision I could with the information that I had. Maybe tell yourself that. I made the best decision I could in that circumstance or in that situation. Or maybe the decision was a little impulsive. Maybe that's true. There's nothing wrong with that, though. And maybe you learned a valuable lesson. And maybe that was the point. Maybe that's a good thing. So I want you to look for something positive in this situation. Even if all you can do is identify that you learned from it. That's good. That's good. And the reason that we're talking about observing your thoughts and paying attention to the way you talk to yourself is you need to become someone that you can be vulnerable with. that you can trust. You have to be able to trust yourself that you are safe. Otherwise, we end up at odds. We end up closed off. We end up living mindlessly, robotically, because we're hurting ourselves. We almost can't even live in our own head. And so in order to get into a place where you can even you can't be vulnerable with someone else if you can't even be kind to yourself and trust yourself to be kind and loving. And so we're working through these thoughts and working through this negativity so that we can move into a vulnerable, loving space within ourselves, and then we can look outward. So aside from always looking for something positive in the situation, even if you can just say, you know what, I learned from that. I definitely learned something. That's good. You can leave it at that. If that's the only place that you can get, that's okay. But I want you to refrain from using all-encompassing thoughts or statements like always, never, everything. So when you're thinking about something, I always, do something wrong or whatever, make a mistake or whatever that thing is, or nothing ever goes right. It's never good. It's never something, or everything goes wrong. I want you to refrain from using those all-encompassing thoughts. They're never true. Now I'm using it. They aren't. They're just not true that it's always this way. And what happens is it causes us to expect things to be that way. You are telling your brain to expect that things will always be this way. And so you're going to find the evidence that it always is. The other thing that we're doing when we use language like this is we are also sending out an energetic imprint into the quantum field, if you're into quantum physics, and understand the energy of the words that you use and the intentions that you have affects the quantum reality. And when you're sending out statements like always, never, everything, you are sending out intentions, and those are going to come back to you. We don't want to do that. So I want you to stay curious about why you made the decision that you did. Spinning in negative thoughts and bullying yourself about a decision or action that you made is never going to get you the results that you're looking for, and it just isn't useful. So I want you to reframe your thoughts in a positive way, but do that in a way that you can accept. So you're not going to be able to go from thinking that the decision that you made was totally stupid into thinking that it was the best decision you ever made. Like your brain is not going to get there. And that's okay. It doesn't need to do that. Maybe we can just take incremental steps. Maybe you can go from that was stupid to I did the best I could at the time. You know what? That was a really tough decision or a really difficult situation. And I did the best that I could. I was stressed or I was something. I did what I could. And now that I know better, I can do better next time. I learned from that. I can move forward, and next time I could do better. And that's all and then drop it. Let it go. And we've got to learn to let things go as well, so we're not spinning. It's another technique that we learn in the soul harmony coaching. As I move you through these things, you get better and better at letting the negativity kind of fall away, which is really, really important because you become safe within yourself. And that's so, so, so important. Another vital aspect is to follow your joy. Follow your joy. What activities make you lose track of time? Like you could just do it all day long. When do you feel the most alive, the most vibrant? When do you feel the most authentically yourself? What situations? What are you doing? What does that look like? What is a topic that you could talk about for hours on end? When you start answering these questions, and there's many more, I'm just giving you a few, these are clues, breadcrumbs on the path to your soul purpose. Whether it's writing, painting, music, history, spirituality, nutrition, growing a garden, hiking, or exploring the mysteries of the universe. Your joy is a powerful guide towards your soul purpose. Reflection and introspection are also invaluable tools on this journey. And they're really important because a lot of times when we get these great ideas and these great insights and we don't write them down, we forget. So journaling can be a particularly enlightening process. It provides a space to explore your thoughts, your feelings, and experiences. So ask yourself questions like, what am I passionate about? What do you get excited about? What are your core values? What impact do you want to have on the world? The answers to these questions are like pieces of a puzzle, revealing the picture of your soul purpose bit by bit. So if you struggle to answer these questions, which some people do, you can always connect with your higher self in meditation and ask these questions and then meditate on the answers. Just sit in quiet stillness and allow the answers to come and to flow. It's an amazing process. One of the things that I've found very helpful is understanding the frequencies of music. Different frequencies will have different effects on your body. Some of them will help you get into meditation deeper and will also help you raise your vibration so that you can get that flow of answers from your higher self or from the spirit realm. I've also there are a lot of healing stones that have vibrational or energetic qualities that can help enhance that communication. And if you have questions about that, I definitely advise all of my clients in my coaching programs about the stones that would potentially help them. There's a lot of healing frequencies, a lot of stones, a lot of things that you can use to enhance this process. And that's something that I go over in my coaching programs. And there's also information on my website as well. I have some articles and stuff on that as well. But it's also important to recognize that finding your soul purpose is not a one-time discovery. It is a lifelong journey of growth and expansion. Your purpose may shift and change as you shift and change, and that's okay. The key is to stay connected to your higher self, to remain open and flexible, embracing the journey with curiosity and an open heart. And remember, finding your soul purpose is not just about personal fulfillment. It's about connection. It's about how your unique gifts and passions can serve the world, creating ripples of change and transformation. When you align with your soul purpose, you not only light up your own path, but also illuminate the way for others, offering hope, inspiration, and a sense of shared humanity. And I hope that these tips and some of these questions and just kind of tools that I've shared with you today can kind of help you on this journey. This is just a very basic, fundamental overview. And as we close today's episode, I invite you to take a moment to place your hand over your heart. Feel the warmth, the life, and the love that resides there. Your soul purpose is not something to be found out there in the world. It's something to be remembered, to be awakened within you. Trust in the journey. Lean into vulnerability. Follow your joy. And let the whispers of your soul guide you towards a life of purpose, passion, and profound fulfillment. Thank you for joining me on this journey today. If you're curious about the Soul Harmony coaching or any of the other programs that I offer, please go to the website aurasoulinstitute.com. We also have an online boutique where you can purchase meditation music that I've created, healing crystals and stones, and a lot of other products. So you can also check that out on the website as well. And I just want to close with saying, may you walk the path of discovering your soul purpose with courage and